I have 14 minutes into my phone. I'm gonna end this. I hope you guys can see the red well, because I have to change markers. All my markers are red out. So I hope you guys understand what the revenue system in Hollywood. Hollywood, there's two revenue systems. Either you split the revenue with a distribution company, and in return they just take 40%. They take a certain percentage of your royalties, obviously. Or you pay the distribution company a flat fee, like Hollywood does. Obviously, they pay the theater chains a flat fee, and in return they get 100% of the profits of it too. This is for big budget movies. For the big budget movies, the Hollywood companies take 100% of the pie, and the theater companies are paid a flat fee from the Hollywood companies. Hence, why the food is so expensive at theater chains, because what they don't make any money off the movies. They make money off the flat fee and the food. Hence why they charge a lot for the food. That way they make a lot of money and they're profitable, obviously. Hence the theater chains are smart. They know no one's allowed to bring food in the theaters. Hence they charge a lot of money for the food. That way they make a nice profit for their business, obviously. Right. And hence why the revenue sharing system, in my opinion, is a better revenue system than the revenue system in Hollywood. There's exceptions for independent movies. Independent movies, there's revenue sharing. There's most likely revenue sharing with the theaters and Hollywood companies. But for the big budget movies, no fucking way. As Hollywood is fucking greedy, obviously. So I'm gonna end this video off here in 14 minutes here. I'm gonna say this, right? Right, and hence why what? Hence why I hope what? The B-listers understand why what? Why the Hollywood film studios reject them, obviously. Right? Reasons. They are taking a huge risk. I keep saying that. They're taking a huge risk with their movies, obviously. Most movies these days have to do like 700 plus million just to be profitable. Because nowadays, gone are the days where you make movies for 60, big budget movies for 60 million. Nowadays, movies are all made for 100, 150 million, 200 million dollars. For those kind of movies, you need to do at least like 800, 700 million plus just to be profitable. They are taking a huge risk with their movies, obviously. Right? As for what? For a what? For a $200 million movie, the studios need to make a good like 700 to 800 million just to make good profits. Whereas a huge hit would be like 900 to $1 billion. If a movie's made for 200 million and it makes $1 billion, that's considered a hit. Whereas if it makes 800 million, 750 million, that's good profits, obviously. So they're taking a huge risk with their movies. As for a $200 million movie, obviously, I keep saying this, the Hollywood companies, I keep saying this, need to make what? 400 million just to break even, man. That's just to break even. And that doesn't include advertising costs. You have advertising costs, and you also have the fee for putting the movie into the theaters. That's all a part of it. Hence why they have to do a good like 800 million plus just to be profitable. As for a $200 million movie, the Hollywood companies need to make 400 million to break even. And hence why, to lower the risk, they hire what? They hire the best of the best. They hire the proven A-list actors, obviously. As for a $200 million movie, the Hollywood companies need to make 400 million to break even, right? And make a good what? 650, 700, 750 million for good. This is just for good profits. This is for good profits, obviously. Right? And 800 million plus to be a hit. 800 million plus to have a hit, obviously. So if a movie's made for 200 million and he does 800 million, that's considered a hit because the company made a couple hundred million in profit. A good 100 million, 150 million profit, something like that. 800 million plus to what? To what? To 1 billion. is considered like a hit. It's considered a hit, obviously. So every studio's goal is to make that 800 million plus range, which is right. So if a movie is made for $200 million, the Hollywood companies need to make 400 million to break even and make a good 650 to 700 to 750 million just to make good profits. This is not even a hit. This is just to make good profits, and it depends on the advertising cost and the amount of money they spent to put into the theaters. If the company spends like 100 million in advertising costs, the movie needs to do a good like 900 million, just 900 million to $1 billion to be a hit, to be profitable. If they spend a lot of money on advertising, it depends on how much money they spend on advertising, obviously. But assuming they spend very little money on advertising, realistically speaking, the movie needs to do a good 550 to 600 million just for good profits. 650, 700, 750 million just for good profits, obviously, if it's made for 200 million. And 800 million plus to $1 billion for it to be a hit. Right? Hence why, I'm going to keep saying this. Hence why what? The big film studios reject the B-listers. As they're taking a risk at the box office. They are taking a risk at the box office. See what I'm saying here? Hence why most of the biggest actors are going to stay in television for the rest of your life. I have about 5 minutes left on my phone here. Hence why most of the biggest actors, I hope you guys can see the red wall. Hence why most of the biggest actors are going to stay in television rights. And hence why I hope the B-listers understand why the Hollywood film studios reject them. Obviously. Reasons. They are taking a huge risk with their movies. As for a $200 million movie, even a $60 million budget movie, for a $60 million budget movie, the studios are expecting to make a good what? 300 plus million for good profits and $400 million for a hit. And you need to be able to sell your tickets, obviously. As the reasons, they are taking a huge risk with their movies. As for a $200 million movie, the Hollywood companies need to make 400 million just to break even. That's just to break even, man. This is not even profit. And you also have the advertising costs. Don't forget that too, right? Just right. And they need to make a good 650 to 700 to 750 million just to make good profits, obviously. And 800 plus million to $1 billion for it to be a huge hit and to make a lot of money, obviously. Hence why the big film studios reject the B-listers, because they are taking a risk at the box office. As the entertainment film, the show business is all about. The show business is. I'm gonna say this. I'll end it off with this here. Okay. I hope you guys can see the red one, man. Right. Yeah, my marker's running out. I'm gonna use orange. Hopefully you guys see the orange. All my markers are running out here. I have a good 6 minutes left. Okay, I'm gonna end it off with this. Right. I hope you guys can see this well. Right. Can you see it well? Yeah, you can see it well. I'm gonna say this. The movie what? The movie business, the big budget movie business, I'll say that. The big budget movie industry, right? Industry is all box office. Hence what? What? The actor needs, I'll say this, the studios need. I'm running out of camera space here. I gotta hurry up here. It's all box office, right? So the big budget movie industry is all box office. The studios need to sell tens of millions. Tens of millions of tickets to what? To make a good profit, obviously. Or sell their movie like crazy. Which is a hit, obviously. Like crazy. See what I'm saying here? Which is obviously a hit. Right? Whereas a television television industry, obviously, is ratings, which is less risky, obviously. I'm going to say this, less risky. What? The networks only need a good, I don't know, a good 600,000 to what? To a couple million of viewers to make their money, obviously. Hence why the biggest actors of perfect television is less risky to make their money. See what I'm saying here? So to end this off, I only have 4 minutes left here. The big budget movie industry is all box office. The studios need to sell tens of millions of tickets to make a good profit or sell their movies like crazy, which is a hit. The television industry is all ratings, less risky, much less risky, obviously. Hence why the biggest actors are perfect television, because television is less risky. You only need a good 800,000 to 700,000 viewers for television. That's enough to keep your show in the air. And if your show has like 10 million viewers, or 5 million viewers, or 3 million viewers, that's considered a hit, obviously. Like Riverdale, Game of Thrones, that had tens of millions of views, obviously. So the television industry is all ratings, less risky. The networks only need a good 600K to what? 700,000 viewers to make their money, obviously. Or have what? Have a few million to even 10 million, obviously. To even 10 million viewers for their show to be a hit. See what I'm saying here? Hence why the biggest actors are perfect television. Television is less risky. So if you're a biggest acting, biggest actors, because they're good for television, because for television you only need a good 800,000 people watching your show every week, and that's enough to keep your show in the air. Whereas if your show has 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, 4 million viewers, that's considered a hit in the television industry. Hence why the biggest actors are perfect for television. Whereas for the movie business, the movie industry is all box office, all ticket sales. The studios need you to sell what? Tens of millions of tickets. So I don't know, if you're doing a $60 million movie, and the studio wants to make $400 million, you need to sell a good like 15 million, 17 million tickets just to make $400 million. 15 to 20 million, I don't know, 15 to like 20 million tickets just to make your $400 million around there. I'm bad at math. Around 15, 14 million, I don't know, 17 million tickets just to make $400 million, right? Or you may not sell your movie like crazy, but you make good profit for the companies, obviously. So if your movie's made for 60 million and does 300 million or 280 million, it's not a hit, but you at least make good enough profits for the company, obviously, right? Whereas if your movie sells like crazy, it's considered a hit. Whereas the television industry, it's all about ratings, way less risky, as the networks only need a good 600K to 700K, 800,000 viewers to keep your show on the air, or have a few million to even 10 million viewers, like Game of Thrones, for example, for their show to be a huge hit, obviously. Hence why I'm gonna end off of this. Hence why the B-listers are perfect for what? For television. Are perfect for television. But not for what? For the big box office. I'll say that. So I'm going to call this video box office. See what I'm saying here? Well, this is it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this box office video. Stay tuned for my For my Phase 6 analysis. I should be getting my book formatted any day now. I'm going to show you guys my map and the format layout of my books. Stay tuned for that video as my series is soon coming to an end. This is Ivan Amer. I'm signing out. Peace.